there's a tremendous explosion of devices that are getting hooked up and connected into the Internet of Things, particularly in the industrial space. Tell me what you see going on there.
The old adage is to improve it, you got to measure it first. So we're seeing just an explosion of whether it's sensors, cameras, actuators, typically, all throughout the factory.
And that's really making this thing, this convergence that we've heard about, this industrial revolution called Industry 4.0. What does that all entail?
Yeah, so it's about getting more value out of your factory. So whether that is making your factory more efficient, understanding when your equipment needs repair, for instance, making sure that your equipment is operational, or even monitoring any process via camera or sensor throughout your factory.
I think there's many unique characteristics about how you put together an SPE connector. Could you share with us a little bit about its form factor, its sizing, and what all's involved in how it's constructed?
Yeah, so a couple of things. SPE, obviously being just a single pair, it's going to be fairly small, and it really works well with some of the edge devices that we're talking about. Whether it's just small sensors or vision cameras, size matters. In this case, the small size really fits those types of devices typically, and I say it's at the edge, it can be anywhere in the factory. The other thing that I think that's really important is we have a couple different IP ratings or ingress protection ratings. One is IP20, which is really just touch-proof, and then we have the full IP67, which is both dust and moisture compliant. And so when you think about a factory, and certainly a factory that's existed 10, 20, 30 years, there's a lot of dust. Even the cleanest factories, you're going to have dust and other type of material in that factory. So having an IP67 solution that's both dust and moisture compliant for these devices is something really powerful.
You mentioned high speed out at the edge. I think important for our customers is to understand that we want to protect and block against noise. So my understanding is that a lot of thought has gone into protecting these SPEs against EMI and noise issues. Could you address that a little bit and tell what your company and what the industry has done to protect against EMI?
Yeah, so the SPE solution is fully shielded, 360 degrees shielded. So it's really put a lot of thought into the design of the connector to make sure that it is shielded in 360 degrees.
Scott, I know that SPE comes in a couple different form factors. Could you talk to me a little bit about right angle and vertical and what that all means and how those came together?
Sure. So we're trying to give the designer all the options so that they have everything in their toolbox. So with SPE, the board side connector, vertical, right angle. And as I mentioned previously, it's in the IP20, which is touch-proof, and the IP67 that is dust and moisture compliant. You'll notice the latching. So again, the latching here is going to be tailored for industrial applications so that it's not snag-proof. So if you'll notice the push to engage and disengage the SPE cable from the board receptacle, both vertical and right angle. And then in the IP67, it's a IEC M12 form factor that is push-pull.
So what you've taken then is an industry standard, this IP67, something that's really water resistant, and made it with this push-pull so that nothing can ingress on it. It makes it very, very reliable and robust against harsh environments.
Yeah, super easy. It's a known form factor, that M12 exterior shell. And then in a push-pull makes it super easy to engage or disengage, but keeps everything protected both from dust and moisture.
Is there anything additional you'd like to share with our engineers about SPE?
So Paul, SPE really addresses all that the designer is really looking to address. Higher speeds, power over the data line, protection from dust and moisture compliance, a latch that won't snag and break. Think about plug and play and going sensor to the cloud with that data. It's really exciting.
Thank you for all that information. I want to thank my guest Scott today for informing us about SPE. Please join us at our next Plugged In episode.